basically, I'm going to be talking about, I guess, 10-ish tips on how to stay happy. Okay, so as I'm editing this, I kind of wanted to change the title of it. This video is going to be tips on how to stay happy and stay positive even through like the hard times, but it also is going to kind of be like relationship and dating advice, because a lot of these things that apply to making yourself happy also apply to having like a happy, healthy relationship. So it's kind of a mixture. I'm going to be doing a 2-part series, so I'm posting like the first half of it today and I'm posting the second half of it tomorrow. They're pretty long videos because I get into depth about each kind of topic that I talk about. As I was editing it, I was like, you know what, I want to split this video into 2, and I also want to title it dating advice because I realize that so many of these things apply to relationships. So and I'm also going to be talking about the things that make me happy and what I do to keep myself happy and not be sad. If you're new to my channel, you can take a look around my channel and get to know what I'm talking about, because I'm not planning on talking about anything sad in this video. But as you know, and if you don't know, if you are new, a lot of bad shit has happened to me in my life. And honestly, I have all the right in the world to be sad all the time. If I wanted to be, I would have a reason to be. But the thing is, I hate being sad. Being sad is like one of the saddest feelings. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know firsthand how hard it can be to get out of that sadness, or to just like break that little like cloud, that little shield of like just anger and sadness and despair and like depression. Like, it's very hard to walk that little cloud away. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my little tricks that I think are the most helpful when it comes to staying happy. As much shit as there is going on in the world, you have to understand that life and this world is all such a blessing, like such a blessing. And I'm not gonna rob myself from living life to the fullest. I want to be able to look back when I'm on my deathbed, and I want to be able to look back and say, you know what, I'm happy with the way I live my life. Because one day, life is gonna flash before your eyes, so make sure it's worth watching. That's my quote, that's my motto. If I look back and all I see is just me being sad about the little shit and me being sad about this and that, like, I'm gonna regret it, because you can take that sadness and switch it around so fast. It really has to do with perspective, and I'm gonna get into one of my philosophy lessons that I just did, because I think it's really, really amazing, and I'll even link the video down below. It's like a 5-minute video. It's all about living life and perspective, and the video really, really resonated with me, so that'll be linked down below. So take a look at that video once you're done here. I'm also not trying to say that it's not okay to be sad. It's totally valid to be sad at times, and I agree that you should take a day or even a few days to feel that grief and feel that sadness and sit in that sadness, because if you think about it, without the sadness you don't really appreciate the happiness. So I'm not saying like, oh, you're a sad person, like you're gross. Like, no, it's okay to be sad. It's okay not to be okay. But for me, these are some ways that I can just snap out of bad mood. I mean, if you want to stay sad, by all means stay sad. If that's you, you do you, boo boo. But if you're tired of being sad and you just don't know how to get out of it, then that's why I'm here to help. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the bad shit that's happened to me. You guys can look at my other videos if you want. This video is just all about happiness. That being said, let's jump into it. Tips on staying happy. And if you guys like this video, then comment down below and I'll continue doing videos like this. I'll talk about more ways I think of staying happy. But these are just the first that came to my head. I made some note cards. I got really into it. And I'm just gonna explain this to you guys. I think the ways that I like go out and like get myself happy and like in a good mood are very out of the box. Some of them, obviously some of them are very like cliche, but they work. So you're gonna see a whole array of things, from typical things that you hear like all the time to things you're like, huh, I never thought of that. All right, laugh. Alright, so laughing. Obviously that's a given, and you're probably sitting here thinking like, Marla, like, I'm sad, why am I not gonna laugh? So the thing you need to do is figure out the things that make you laugh. So TV shows, TikToks, friends. Which friends make you laugh? Like, I have certain friends that literally all I do with them is laugh. I also have certain friends that all I do is have deep conversations, and I also have the other friends that like I have like the combination friends. Typically when I'm sad, I make sure to hang out with those friends that I know will make me laugh until I cry. So I won't be crying of sadness, I'll be crying happiness. And scientifically, laughing actually releases dopamine, and the happy chemicals in your body. So when you start laughing, your body's gonna feel it. You also have to learn how to laugh at yourself, because people make mistakes. That's just a part of life. You're gonna make mistakes. Like, I make mistakes all the time, and like those mistakes I could be really embarrassed about and like hide, be like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, I'm so stupid. But like instead I laugh at myself and I'm like, dude, yo, I'm so stupid. Like, you also have to know how to take a joke. People are gonna say shit to you that like probably isn't the best feeling in the world. I know that I've had shit said to me in the past and I'm like, damn, that hurts. But you have to laugh about it. You have to, like, I guess, find the humor within other people's humor. Does that make any sense? I also laugh at myself all the time. Like, I'll just be sitting in my bed and like I'll think about something that I did like a while ago and I'll start cracking up. You can't be overly sensitive. It's life, dude. Shit happens. If you can't laugh at certain situations and you're sensitive, I'm sorry, but you're gonna make this so hard for yourself. So just learn how to laugh at things, even if they're hard to laugh at. You have to treat laughter like a muscle that you need to exercise every day. A day without laughter is like a day without sun. It's sad. Literally. So this is why we're trying to be happy. Next we have adrenaline. I literally cannot like stress this one enough. Adrenaline is one of the best feelings in the world. When I was younger, I used to competitively wakeboard. Every time before I'd get on the starting dock and every time before I'd start riding my ride, I would get super nervous, like super nervous. And like, you know when you get nervous and like you have like those butterflies in your stomach, and like half the time you're like, dude, this shit's like the worst feeling in the world. So something my mom used to tell me was, Marla, being nervous is actually a good thing. It's all this energy just building up inside of you, waiting to burst out in that moment. So if you take a step back and like look at the things that typically would be like not the best, like feeling nervous, like that's not a fun feeling. But if you take a step back and you look at it in a different perspective, like, no, it's not me being nervous or not wanting to do something. It's just all the energy that's so excited to come out when you do that thing, or when you say that thing, or when you're with that person, just waiting to burst open. It's like a dam that breaks. So adrenaline. Adrenaline is when that dam breaks. It's all that energy just pouring out of you. So I would get on the starting dock and I get super nervous and I'm like, no, it's all my energy waiting to burst out when I start riding my ride. Right when I'd start riding, all of it would come out and it'd be the adrenaline. It'd be like that, like, just like the wah, you know? So basically, if you can redefine fear into a good thing, then you're set for life. Fear is my best friend. I love being scared. That sounds really weird, but like I love being scared because fear is the mind killer. So if you're able to have a different perspective on fear and just all the negative things that happen in your life, and it's a lot easier said than done. I will 100% agree with you, but like getting off your dot will allow you to do those things. So adrenaline, it's my drug of choice because I don't do drugs or anything like that. So, you know, I gotta feel something. So adrenaline it is. Skydiving, snorkeling, scuba diving, wake surfing, flying my drone makes me happy, being on the ocean, going to concerts, cliff jumping, swimming with sharks. All of these things get your adrenaline pumping. And you're also sitting here like, I'm scared, Marla. Like, I don't want to do that. I have been with multiple people who were scared shitless to do some things. Whether it was skydiving, jumping off like a 40-foot jump, even if it was jumping into like the ocean. Like, I've been with many people who are very scared to do some things. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you need to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, like, you're going home. And I'd end up forcing my friends who were scared and super nervous to do these things. Right when they did it, they were like, holy shit, like that was so fun, like I need to do it again, like let's do it again. And they broke this barrier and they had all this adrenaline pumping and they feel so good. We'd be driving home from like wherever we were and they'd be like, dude, that was so sick, I want to do it again, like I'm so happy I did that. So it's really about just getting out of your comfort zone, getting off your dot and doing something you wouldn't do before, whether it's trying new food or if it's jumping out of a plane, plummeting thousands of feet per second. You have one of two options. You do the thing that's gonna scare you or make you nervous, and you end up walking out of it with such an immense like feeling of like proudness. I guess like you're proud of yourself. You're like, yo, I did that, and like you're happy and you're stoked, and you're gonna be able to look back on that and be like, dude, that was sick. I did something dope with my life, and I'm so excited to do it again. So that's option A. Option B, you driving home and be like, damn, like, should I have done that? I'm kind of regretting my decision. You never know until you try. That's the way I look at it. You never know until you try. Don't knock it till you try it. Because if you live a life not doing things because you don't know if you'll like them, what if you miss out on like 1,000 things you don't, that you would have, English is hard, that you would have ended up loving? How can you live an entire life on this planet and not jump out of a plane at least once? Do it once. If you never want to do it again, you don't have to. But you can at least sit there and say, you know what, I did it, I tried it, I know I don't like it, so I don't need to do it again. But then you're never gonna have that thought in the back of your head, like, maybe I would have liked it if I would have done it. You're not gonna have that thought anymore. And that little thought can eat up a lot of your energy, and you won't even know it. But it will be eating your energy and you won't know it. All right, this next one, goals. This is it's a very broad statement, but there's so much to this card. Always have goals and plans for your future, because having goals and plans gives you something to look forward to, and it also gives you something to live for. It could be a very basic goal, like I want to get married, or it can be something more elaborate, like a trip somewhere that you've always wanted to go. I have all these goals that I have written down in my journal of things that I want to do. I want to hit a certain amount of followers. I want to go to this, and this place. I want to fall in love and have a family and have kids. I want to build my own house. I have all these goals from A to Z. Like, I have all kinds of goals. Those are the things that are making me so excited for my future. I'm like, dog, like I cannot wait to see what's coming. And it gets me happy thinking about all the possibilities that are out there for me. I even made a dream board, which I have another video on that if you guys want to check it out. I basically explained law of attraction, manifestation. I showed you guys how I made my vision board, but I guess like a little like update. So many things on my vision board have come true, and it's kind of wild. But I like having my vision board because it's a physical way for me to see my goals. And every time when I wake up and I stand in that mirror and I look at that wall, I see my goals in front of me. I can see them with my own 2 eyes, and I'm like, that's my future right there. To list a few of my goals, maybe I'll inspire you guys to write down some of these goals, but I really want to go to Bali. That's my #1 place to go to, and I am going there, I think, April. So we'll see. I want to hit 30 countries in the next year. I'm at 21 countries right now, and I really want to hit 30. I really want to like also work on my physical health. I want to work out more. I want to get my dream body, because we all know quarantine, we all gained some weight, which isn't bad. Gaining weight's healthy, but I do want to get into shape. It's not even just like looks wise, like I'm just very out of shape, like internally. Like I will walk up like 5 steps and I'll be winded. That's not healthy, and I want to be able to be healthy for my kids, my family, and my future, so I can do all this fun stuff. I really want to swim with sharks without the cage. I want to be in the water with like the big ass sharks, not like the little nurse sharks from the Bahamas, which, don't get me wrong, that's so fun, but I want to get out there with the big boys. I really want to buy a van or an Airstream or something and turn it into like a little mini home, and I want to like travel cross country and camp, and I want to stop at all of like the national parks and camp there. I want to start a blog. Since I may not be going back to school next semester, I really want to self-educate myself. Since I'm not going to school, like I want to be able to like watch documentaries here and there and like learn things on my own. I want to be able to go to places and learn things there. I'm turning 19. I want to plant 19,000 trees in the Amazon. So I'm going to take some of my money, my birthday money and my sponsorship money, and I'm going to give back to the Amazon rainforest, because our planet is slowly dying and I want it to be pretty. And I also loved the Amazon. I lived there for a week. You can also check that video out if you guys want to. But moving on, music. That is a given. That's one of the basic one, guys. It's music. Everyone loves music. If you don't love music, I'm sorry, you're fucking weird. Like, music is amazing. There's a song for literally every situation, every kind of mood, every place. There's a song for everything. I've been really getting into my music lately. I just got Spotify Premium. So if you guys want to follow me on there, I have a ton of playlists. When I'm sad, yeah, I'm like, I want to listen to sad music. And I will listen to sad music for a few minutes, and then I'm like, all right, time to switch. Put on some shit that makes me happy. It may take a few songs to like start getting into it again, but eventually you will. Music, guys. Listen to music. Don't just sit in silence. That shit's so sad. So I know I already touched on this a little bit, but self-educate, keep learning. That is so key. Expanding your mind and like what you're knowledgeable about. It'll make you wiser, and I feel like when you're wise and you know a lot of things about like culture and people and the things that have happened in this world and specific problems about mental health, about everything, when you educate yourself on things like that, it allows you to take a step into other people's shoes. And when you do that, when you take a step into other people's shoes and you try and like understand where other people come from, it allows you to be a lot more, I guess, like thankful and grateful for the little things in life. For example, I went to Poland last year on Thanksgiving to go learn more about genocide and the Holocaust. It was one of the most amazing trips I've ever gone on. Yes, I love traveling and I love traveling for pleasure, but I also think it's super important to take a step back and travel to learn. I looked at the world in a different way, and I'm so happy I went, and I think self-educating is just one of the best things that someone can do. Forget school, guys. I'm sorry. Don't forget school. Like, if you're going to school, go to school. If you need school for your career, like, do that. But I'm saying you're not gonna learn everything at school, and you're sure as hell not gonna learn a lot about life itself and like making mistakes and experiencing different experiences. You're not going to learn that from school. You have to go out there and watch, learn, and this is what you're doing right now. You're watching a YouTube video, 10 tips on how to stay happy. You know what? You're learning and self-educating right now. So I'm glad that you are watching this with me. But not only that, just self-educating makes you interesting. Knowing what's going on in this world when it's happening, it makes you interesting. Because looks, guys, I'm sorry, beauty fades. Beauty and looks and attractiveness, forget all about that. The thing that makes you you is what's on the inside. And I'm sorry, there's plenty of beautiful women and beautiful men out there in this world. Like stunning, drop-dead gorgeous people. You can have the most drop-dead gorgeous man or female, whoever or whatever you're attracted to, and you can be with that person. But if they're not interesting and you can't have a deep conversation with that person, forget about it. You have to be interesting, because if you're interesting, you're gonna attract interesting people. And not only that, when you're interesting and you can hold a super deep, super interesting, super knowledgeable conversation with someone, you're gonna become way more attractive to that person. I've met plenty of people where like at first I was like, man, they're like decent looking. I get into hour-long conversations with them and I'm like, this person is attractive as hell. Like, I am so attracted to this person. Plenty of people. And some of those people become like my best friends. And I'm not even saying attractive as I'm like, I want to be with you kind of thing. It's like, that person's just attractive. Like, I love their outlook on life. Like, I love that person. I want to talk to that person. I want to be friends with that person. And sometimes I want to But also, do not self-educate to be a know-it-all. I know that there are plenty of people who are very, very educated. But the thing is, they're so strict and they're so like, they're so like, they think they know it all and they aren't even open to hearing other people's opinions on certain things. They're like, I know the facts, I know the way it is, like, shut up, you don't know. Don't self-educate to be an annoying know-it-all. Self-educate to have those deep and interesting conversations. Be flexible, listen, and show compassion. It's as simple as that. Next, this one's a good one. Live a multifaceted life. I'm gonna even expand this on to make sure you're with someone romantically that also lives a multifaceted life. This kind of expands onto the whole like beauty thing and the whole being interesting thing. You can be super beautiful once again, but if you just sit at home all day and you don't do shit, like, that is so like, dog, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? Like, you're wasting time. Like, don't get me wrong, I love sitting on the couch and having my movie nights with my girls and like eating food and like being like a little junkie. I love that. Those nights are great, but don't make that like a daily habit. Like, go out and be interesting. Live a multifaceted life. Have a multi-passioned life. I am in love with making my videos. I love traveling. I love filming and documenting it all. And that's one thing that I pray sticks around for my whole life. This is what I want to do for my career. But I know that if all hell breaks loose and that part of my life is just, it disappears, I know I have other passions and other things that make me just as happy that I can turn to. So I know that if something doesn't go right with one thing, I'm not going to be like, what do I do now? You have to have a multifaceted life, a multi-passioned life, because you don't know, like, you have no idea how life is gonna play out. Like, you may not have that person. Your passion may be a person, but you don't know if you're gonna have that person the next day. So make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you have a passion to just indulge yourself in. Like, I have my wake surfing. I have all that stuff. Like, I have all of my passions, from wake surfing, traveling, skydiving, video making, to deep conversations, to friends. I have passion for friends. You know what I'm saying? And to expand on to the whole relationship aspect of it, I cannot urge you enough to date someone that has a multifaceted life themselves, because you cannot feel responsible for that person's happiness. Yes, it is great to make a person happy. If a person makes you happy, make them happier, but you cannot feel responsible and be like, damn, I need to make them happy because I'm their only muse. You cannot date someone who you're like their only muse. Does that make sense? For example, I have my traveling and my video making and my wake surfing and stuff like that. I want to be able to go out and do that, maybe sometimes without the person I'm in a relationship with. I want to be able to live my life knowing that I don't need that person. But for example, if that person doesn't have any passions and they fucking just sit at home and play Fortnite and like drink with the boys, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you drop that basket, then your eggs are gone. Got nothing else to turn to. You got no more eggs, dog. Like, so put your eggs in like tons of different baskets. Also, if you're dating someone that has all their eggs in one basket, or not even that, like if they just, all they do is sit at home and they think that that just makes them happy, you're gonna be like, shit, dude, that person's just sitting at home. I feel like I'm responsible, like I need to go over there and be with them because all they ever do is sit at home. It would be, I guarantee you guys, it would be so great if you could date someone that has a passion, that they love to go and make pots. I don't know. They have a passion. They like to paint. They like to make music. They like to go on runs. They like to, I don't know, travel themselves. They have their passion. That way, you guys can have your own lives, but you can also experience life with that person. Does that make sense? For example, my brother, he was gonna go on the world tour for wakeboarding. We were a huge wakeboarding family. He took a gap year and he was gonna travel the world for the world tour for wakeboarding. And he ended up tearing his ACL and he could not compete anymore. And if he didn't have another passion, he would have been donezo. Like, he would have been stuck. But thankfully, he had a passion for photography. So he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this stop me. I'm still gonna go out and I'm gonna enjoy this experience, but with a different passion. Now, he is like the best photographer I know, hands down. He's out there living his life. He's in the music industry. He's worked with Future, Lil Uzi, A$AP Rocky, Post Malone. He works with A$AP Ferg. He is out there and he's doing some dope stuff because he had a multifaceted life. He was able to lose that one thing that he loved, wakeboarding, but also be able to like pick up and do another thing that he loved. And speaking about relationships, he's in a relationship right now and he's working in the music industry and he goes on tours for months. He knows that with his girlfriend has her passion. She loves horses and she has her things that she loves to do. So he knows when he goes out on tour that he's not responsible for her happiness. Does that make sense? Like, obviously he loves to make her happy, but he can go on tour and not feel terrible or feel responsible or feel guilty for doing what he loves, because he knows that his girlfriend has the things that she loves as well. So my brother can do his thing and not feel guilty about doing his thing because he knows she's doing her thing. So date someone that has a multifaceted life as well. It'll be a great relationship. So those are like aspects of my life, or just things to do, things to say, things to experience that just really make me happy. I hope you guys liked it. I hope maybe you got some ideas from it. And I really want to read the comments on this. So if you guys want to comment things that make you happy that I maybe didn't mention, or if you have some of the same things that make me, you happy that we both like. My English is not the best today, but I really want to read the comments to just see what makes you guys happy as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.